Hello, my beautiful friends. I am back and I'm so happy to be here with you. I just want to give you some quick reminders. One, this weekend, Saturday, May 26th, I will be in Brooklyn and I have 2 appointments left, okay? Everything else has been booked. I have 2 appointments left. Link below if you want to book those for an in-person reading with me. Also, I am dubbing the month of June the Great Divide. A lot of you will see me talk about that in your readings. Not every sign, but most signs. Those of us that are energetically sensitive have been feeling this for some time, okay? I cannot even begin to stress the importance of decision making here in Gemini season. And it's interesting because Gemini is about variety and experiencing a lot. So as you start to experience the variety of energies around you, people, social circles, options, right? It's important that by the time the sun moves into Cancer, you have chosen which side of the fence you land on and who will be standing there with you, okay? Because if we wait for the universe, for spirit to remove people from our lives, we are behind the ball. Okay, I'm gonna let you know that. So spiritual discipline and spiritual maintenance is more important this month than ever. I can't even begin to stress that. Okay. Also, June 1st to the 4th, I am running a flash sale, and it's going to be exclusively posted on my Twitter and my Instagram @_spiritual siren. So you want to follow me over there if you want to be involved, okay? If you want to get hip to the sale and be able to get in on it. And lastly, as always, all my services are on my site. As some of you have seen, I put out the mid-month readings as snippets, or you can join Siren Gang where you get $3 off all my services all the time and access to my weekly blog on top of getting access to every single mid-month reading. And yeah, I also have like some kits now on the site where you get a reading, and then you get a kit in the mail to cleanse your own energy and to plant stuff in the ground, to do a ritual and to bring manifestation about. So, and also I've had a lot of clients lately asking me how many readings they should get a year, which I suggest no more than 4, and what they should do in between if they need support. So I have something called Siren Support, which is an email service, $25, $26. And we email back and forth whatever your issue is. And also I have one called Intuitive Counseling, where we talk on Skype. And I do pull your chart, but it's not an astrology reading per se. So go over to my site. I have a bunch of new services, and I'm here in service as always, and I appreciate growing with you all. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, you know that I cook a lot too. And I've said it before, but I'm looking for the way. Spirit is going to answer my prayer soon about how to integrate that and bring more food to you guys in a real way. So I love you all, and here's your reading. All right, Pisces. So you have a lot of cards I wanted to flip out ASAP, okay? So first we have the 5 of Wands with the 4 of Pentacles. Then the 5 of Pentacles with the World. And we're going to address these first, okay? If you have been competing for jobs or having to really like continuously like put resumes out there, field a lot of interviews, do a lot of things like that, obviously to an extent, you feel like your money is going to continue to be tight, and you feel like you're kind of like on this journey by yourself, and you know, maybe you just need to withdraw. And I think that you've been feeling very like bogged down by the emotional toll that this whole journey is taking on you. But with the 5 of Pentacles in the World, I do feel this is coming to an end soon. You may not get the salary that you were hoping for, or the pay that you were hoping for right away. But it is something that's going to put you back on your feet, right? 4 of Wands with the Wheel of Fortune. And it's also important to remember that sometimes we have to admit defeat, you know what I'm saying, before things shift for us. So if this has been something that's been going on for a while, like a month or 5 weeks or whatever, you know, challenge and adversity, as much as it's annoying and it can take a toll on us, there's always a lesson there. So this may be a lesson in pride. If people are trying to help you as well, I would take that help, because it might just be able to get you through to the next cycle. However, ultimately, we have the Six of Wands with the Seven of Wands, which means that it's important that you continue to put yourself out there, continue to try and get new things. Like, let's say you get a job or you get an opportunity that like will pay your bills for now, but is not ultimately what you wanted. And that's okay, because it's going to put you back on your high horse. It's going to put you back in a position where you feel good about yourself, because it's really hard to land our dream job when we're feeling like life is just too damn hard. And that's totally understandable. So if you have some kind of income flow, that's going to put you in the position to make that powerful decision to decide where you want to take your life overall next. Okay, so put yourself in a position just where you can feel comfortable. Now, if this isn't work related for you, if this isn't financially related for you, I feel like you've been having to ward off people that want a piece of your money. Okay? And you've had to take a time to distance yourself either from spending or from people that always are looking for a handout. And potentially even may have had to like scale back your friend circle. But the people that you have successfully like pushed away, that will benefit you in the long run, okay? Because you're getting a lot more choosy with who you share space with. Capricorn had a similar issue here in the beginning as well. All right, Pisces. Interesting reading we have here. Number one, you guys know I usually talk about things in an energetic format, because how this will pan out for you specifically is going to be very, dependent on where you're at in life. I am seeing both career, as well as like family life, as well as like dating life mixed into this. Okay. 'Cause for some of you, even if you're not married, you may like live with your spouse or partner, or, spend a lot of time with each other, or your finances are intertwined somehow. But it seems to all be one storyline. Okay, obviously for some of you that may not be the case. But I'm gonna say two things. Ultimately, this is about actualizing your highest ideals, but needing to physically act on them. Okay, and we do have Mars in Aquarius, and it's gonna be there for quite some time, which is gonna help us collectively take action on our most futuristic goals, right? The things that we maybe have thought about for a long time, or things that are going to propel us far into the future, things that are related with humanity as well, okay? Now, for others of you, and to an extent, all of you, this energy is kind of like shit or get off the pot. You know what I'm saying? Because we go from a very, overall energy is the Two of Wands. Needing to still look at our options, looking at our options. Over here, Seven of Cups with the High Priestess, contemplating all these options, half kind of depressed about it, half kind of confused about it. I'm not really sure what I want to do. What am I going to do? Right? And Two of Pentacles in the heart space. I'm kind of juggling things. I don't really know where I'm coming or going. Right? And then it seems like you're getting it together. And then we end with the Seven of Swords with the Magician. Now, I'm going to address that further when the time comes. But like, for some of you, if you continue to keep things in a state of contemplation, whether it be your relationships, whether it be work, whether it be overall like life goals, whatever, if you continue to stay in a state of contemplation, or to lie about the options that you have, or at least keep them a secret, or what you're thinking, if you're not sharing with your partner what you're thinking or what's going on, that's not gonna pan out well for you. Okay? It's not gonna pan out well, because the rune on the Seven of Swords is home. So what we never want to see is deception in the home, right? Because the home at the end of the day is our heart, right? Home is where the heart is. Okay? And we want to, that's our place that we're supposed to feel safe. That's our place that we're supposed to feel protected. So whether you're doing the deception or somebody else's, especially paired with the Magician, that's not a cool energy. Somebody is abracadabra showing what they want to show. Okay? These are two sides of a similar coin. This one is done in the dark. This one is done in the light with magic tricks. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, that's not for every single one of you, but that is for some of you. And it doesn't even have to be cheating or whatever. It can just be like you're not being honest about how you're feeling with your partner, or you're not being honest about, how the job search is going, or what you want to do for a living, or anything. It could be so many things. But this is about your ultimate happiness and hitting an ideal. But I think what your ideal life is, or your ideal picture of what you want for yourself or what you want out of life has changed. And you don't know how to verbalize that. Okay? That's what seems to be the issue. Because there really isn't a lot of swords energy here. There's a lot of majors, which is interesting because a lot of signs this month have not had that many majors. But you're still not full-fledged, taking action. And I feel like that is the major block, that you're in a state of decision making versus going out and living said decisions. Because everything is a potential until we physically act on it. You know what I'm saying? The energy that you're being asked to leave behind is the High Priestess with the Seven of Cups. And on the Seven of Cups, we have the rune Self. So for some of you, I feel that who you are has shifted, right? You're showing a new facet of yourself and you're not sure who you are. And that's okay. We all come to different points in our life where we're not really sure who we are. And you're trying really hard to tap into some, non-physical power, your own intuitive nature, your natural state. This is a little bit of a checked out energy. But with the High Priestess, there is a purpose, right, to being checked out if it's used consciously. So make sure that you're not escaping for the sense of escaping, you know what I mean, to the sake of it. Make sure you're really using that time of contemplation, that time of dancing with potentials wisely. And remember, with the Seven of Cups, when we have a lot of dreams, and we have a lot of fantasies, and we have a lot of things that we would love to do, that can seem overwhelming because it's like, well, when am I ever going to get to these goals? And that in and of itself can just make you so crushed that you don't want to act on any of them. Like I said in the beginning, you may get some offer or opportunity to patch things up, but it's not really where you want it to be, or get a job, but it's not 100% the perfect job, but that's okay. Baby steps. I feel like I told this to y'all last month. Baby steps. Baby steps, okay? In terms of High Priestess energy, I do feel that some of you, this is a little bit of a deceptive energy. Not so much with the aim to be deceptive, but this is like omission, right? You know more than you're leading on, okay? Because I feel like these energies are akin. And know how the Magician comes before the High Priestess. So it's almost like a little bit of a reversion. Like you were starting to get to the point where you were really tapped into the intuitive truth. And you were like, okay, which self am I going to present? Who am I for real? Who am I really? And this could also be you dealing with somebody like this too, of course. This is a general reading. But we do have self on the Seven of Cups. So make sure you're also not losing yourself in some form of external identity, right? Because as we get older and we get pushed into society and blah, 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 there's so many things and people out there that make us seem like if we don't have a label attached to our name, MD, this worker, that worker, business owner, blah, 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 that we lose value, okay? And that can distort our sense of self, okay? So don't let anybody impress anything on you or make you feel like you're less than because you haven't fully established, right, who you are. And it's okay to just be you. And you, even if you changed your name, you're still you, So there's a really, if you've been withdrawn because of external pressure, understandable, but you definitely need to dig deep for that courage to just present yourself, because being in a checked out state, especially in a withdrawn, checked out state, and kind of like the High Priestess kind of hides, similar to the Hermit, but has a different type of purpose. Definitely bring yourself forward, because there are things that you need to see. Okay? There are things that you need to visualize out in the real world. The door that's not open for you that was once closed, we have the Lovers with the Ace of Pentacles. And on the Ace of Pentacles, we have the rune Marriage. So based on the other cards here, some of you may be really thinking about whether or not you're going to take the relationship you're in to the next level. Whether that be, labeling it or getting engaged or whatever, right? Just moving in together, taking things to the next level. Because you know that you're at the point now where if you don't take things to the next level, it's only a matter of time before they unravel. Okay, I do feel like that. And that's kind of a natural progression. But again, if you're not communicating with your partner, that can become a bigger deal than it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? So now the marriage rune is also just about commitment in general, right? And this is on the Ace of Pentacles, a real opportunity, a financial opportunity, okay? To commit to something that is going to change your path, right? And the Lovers does rule Gemini, and you know, it's number 6, so this talks about being in June, right? Anyways, so this month, going into July, I feel it's imperative to really align with your highest self and decide which route you're going to take, because you are at a crossroads. And like I said in the introduction, I'm calling this month the Great Divide, because I do feel that what transpires in June, and for some of us, we've already been there, is going to really cause a crack in the tectonic plate, if you will, of everyone's life. And that's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? But over time, cracks in the Earth's core create canyons, right? And soon that arm reach across won't work, and that ladder, and then it becomes more risky, right? We throw a rope ladder across, and we have to make sure they catch it, and if it's long enough and it's sturdy enough, and who's going to hold it at the other end, things start to become a lot riskier to deal with people that are not on like your side of the fence. And it's not, there's nothing wrong with people choosing to go their separate ways, or choosing to have different paths in life, or choosing to have different ideals in life. There's nothing ever wrong with that. However, it just is. When we ascend, when we choose to ascend, when we choose to align with a higher power, or we choose to, take a more mundane approach to our life, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But you have an opportunity to really commit to a more expanded version of yourself this month. And that's going to require activity. It's going to require you to really get up and do something, okay? More so than just thinking about it and being in a state of contemplation and emotional consideration. You got a lot of cards in the center here. Your energy as it relates to all of this, we have Justice with the 10 of Cups in the blank rune Destiny. In your heart, the 2 of Pentacles with the Star. And in your foundation, we have the Sun. So the Sun is dope, right? Because, hello, this is about your own personal... I'm all breaking shit. This is about your personal satisfaction, and that's doubled down here. Okay, but again, some of you may be thinking about kids, about marriage, about how you would do that because of where your money's at, or how you would do that because of where you're at in life, because you're at this crossroads in life. Okay, not everything, remember with the 7 of Cups, every ideal, every fantasy you have can be actualized. They can't all be actualized at once. But that also doesn't mean that we can't take steps towards a path that will lead us ultimately, down to that destination. So with the Sun in your foundation, what makes you happy and being happy has to be at the root of everything. Okay? And I'm talking about like a childlike happiness, not like a let me put on a brave face and go out there and be a part of society type of happiness that a lot of us push, you know what I mean? Or feel pushed to represent, okay? You deserve to be happy every single day of your life. Will you be happy every single day? No, because our emotions are fluid. And some days, we're not so hot. But we also deserve to tap into our whole self every day. And there's an innocence with the Sun, okay? And the innocence with the Sun is children don't feel guilty about what they want and about what makes them happy. Adults do, because adults were told that there's repercussions for what they do and all this other stuff. Okay, so this is about having a guilt-free type of joy in your life. Okay, with the 2 of Pentacles and the Star in your heart, I see you juggling whether or not you really want to believe in something, okay? Whether this be your dream job, whether this be a relationship, whether this be, just a higher power. I feel you are juggling whether or not that is worth it, and whether or not it's going to fix your problems, or if it's going to make anything better, right? And if some of you, again, some of you may take a job just to pay the bills while you put yourself in the right position to eventually actualize that dream job, right? Because the star is the higher expression of the Seven of Cups, right? But it's an active faith, right? Because in the star, we are taking into consideration how our emotions affect us and how we can't be the vessel for all of them all the time. We have to pour them back out into the collective void over here with the pond, and we have to pour some into the earth and make something physical, pouring them on land, right? And that's what's going to bring us harmony. Okay, we can't keep everything locked inside. Our feelings and our dreams and our thoughts and everything have to be spoken about, and they have to be acted upon. Otherwise, they're going to be moving beneath the current and causing us to feel really out of vortex. Okay, and for those of you that are juggling more than one person, you know, it's funny because I got that vibe for Aquarius too. If you're juggling more than one person, you know, obviously you need to do what you want to do and choose the person that makes you more happy. But like I told Aquarius, especially if you're committed for real with one of the people, or the person or one of the people thinks that you guys are monogamous because of something you've said or done or whatever, that's not going to fare well for you. Because eventually you'll be found out, you know? So just keep that in mind. Some people are okay with getting caught, you know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong. I always tell people, if you're good with the risk, or if you're good with the outcome, if everyone knew the truth, then so be it. With Justice in the Ten of Cups and Destiny, for some of you, this is definitely like wanting to be some sort of take legal position as a job, right? Working for the government, working as a cop, lawyer, whatever, right? And thinking about how that could provide for your family, or how you need some sort of justice in order to feel like you need universal justice, right? Let me be more clear. You need justice from spirit. You need an ordainment from spirit to like know that it's safe to open yourself up to the idea of family, marriage, or partnership, whether it be for the first time or, you know, at all. And then, you know, justice is also about fairness. So this can also be thinking about like what's fair. Like I said, I think some of you have a relationship that's getting up to the point of like maturity where things have to change. And you're wondering if like that's really in the cards. And if you can balance all of that with your own healing. Because I do feel this star thing is about, not really about a relationship as much as about your own personal connection with source and your ability to renew your own spirit. Like, okay, can I really be happy in this relationship or with another person? Do I have enough together? You know, is spirit going to handle it for me? That's also a thing too. I do feel that like there is a sense that potentially you're hoping something outside of yourself will handle it on your behalf. Okay, because justice is not really your doing. Okay, it's like, well, if it's just for me, it's going to happen when it happens. You know what I'm saying? So consider more active participation in all areas of your life this month to get exactly what you want, okay? Spirit's advice for you. We have the Nine of Cups with the Ace of Swords. And on the Ace of Swords, we have the rune Love. So again, now love comes in many forms, of course. And being a water sign, I feel water signs really have to love their work, okay? Really have to love their work. So again, this could be many different formats. Now, the Ace of Swords is clarity after a distorted period of time, right? Not really knowing what you want. So when you get clear on what you love, it becomes a lot easier to satisfy, again, these dreams and make your own wishes come true. But it's important that you don't consider other people's opinion and don't consider what other people find successful or what other people have built their life on, because that life is not yours. You know, you're the only person that has to live your life, regardless of what other people tell you you need to do or what would be beneficial to you or whatever. they are speaking from their own perspective, with their own personality, with their own temperament. You know what I mean? They are not you. So it's important that, especially when it comes to love, also that you need to communicate. If this is a love on a romantic scale, whether you're single or not, it is imperative that you clearly communicate what you want in the relationship or in a relationship period, or why you want to be single or whatever. You need to make sure that your love language is coming out very clearly. Okay? Because with the arms crossed, the 9 of Cups, there kind of is no budging a 9 of Cups energy. That's why it's different than the 10 of Cups, right? Because it's like when we consider other people's happiness, it's really hard to get clear on what our ideals are and what our morals are. So Spirit is saying, before you think about whether you could marry somebody or whether you'd be happy in this dynamic or that dynamic, what do you want? What is going to make you happy? It's also possible to love somebody and not be ready to give them the relationship that they want. And I know that's a whole different type of maturity, but that's something that needs to be said, or this could be something happening to you. But Spirit is saying, regardless, be really selfish about self-love and be really selfish about, your own needs. Okay? Because there's a turning of the page occurring, and you're going to have to be on board with self before you can get on board with anybody else. The most likely outcome, moving into July, we have the 7 of Swords with the Rune Home and the Magician. So I already kind of spoke on how this can manifest not so nicely. The Magician is all about empowerment. Okay? And if home has been like stressful, or like where you consider home has been stressful, and you've been dipping out, you've been leaving, not to do anything bad, but you've just been leaving, to go do your own thing. Know that we can only leave arguments or disagreements idle for so long before they fester and turn into something else. Okay? Everyone has a different communication window, so you might do better when you like slip away and like clear your head and try to come back a couple days later, right? But that might not work for everybody. Okay? And that might cause more disagreements in the home, because also the 7 of Swords for me is an energy leak. And energy leaks can happen a lot of different ways, by people being checked out, by people just thinking negative thoughts about each other, by having little disagreements or whatever. So also though, if you do need to get away to find more empowerment and get clear, then do what you need to do. Spirit, further clarify the 7 of Swords with the Rune Home as the outcome for Pisces as they move into July, as it relates to their spiritual path and career. Yeah, I just got the 10 of Cups with the 4 of Wands. What is good, Pisces? And then with the Magician, I got the Ace of Cups and the 3 of Cups. Okay, so some of y'all don't really want to be in a relationship, I don't think. Or you want to have your cake and eat it too. Okay, then we have the Empress. Listen, if home has been really rough and like annoying, you need to address it, okay? Going out and partying or going out and just being social is not going to change how you feel ultimately. It may make you feel better in the moment, right? But you need to rekindle that flame with your partner if that's what it is, okay? If this is just like your kids and stuff, do what you need to do to go see friends and kind of like boost that self-esteem back up, right? But ultimately, you have to come back home. You know what I mean? So you have to address the root problem, okay? Whatever that 7 of Swords root issue is. And I think it's lack of communication. I don't think you're communicating clearly with everyone at home. Yeah. Because then I have the Hierophant and I have the 2 of Cups. So there's a lot of relationship energy. Okay, either avoiding a relationship or avoiding taking a relationship to the next level, or you feel like you're married and you're not, or you don't feel like you're ready to go take things to the next level, so you're kind of avoiding the conversation. But don't self-sabotage, okay? Yeah, and then we got the 2 of Wands again. If you need time to think about it, then say, I need time to think about it. That may aggravate your partner or whatever, but it's better than being sneaky. Okay? And some of you, you know, and I mean sneaky, not like you don't have to be doing something bad to be sneaky. That's just not being communicative. It's Gemini season. There's hella energy that supports conversation, okay? And I'm interested to see what comes up mid-month now. Ooh. Water is my favorite beverage. I drink lots of water to cleanse my body and mind. I am the only person who has control over my eating habits. I can always choose to resist something. I can always resist something if I choose to. This is about honoring your body, and with the water cleansing your spirit. If you've been drinking a lot, you definitely need to kind of go on a cleanse. Also, being a water sign, you are literally the water element, right? So that's that as well. And really consider if your aura has been polluted in some capacity, or again, a lot of negative thoughts and energies have polluted you. Think about doing some spiritual maintenance. Again, I talked about that in the beginning too. All right, Pisces? I love y'all. Hope this helped. Peace.